Sieg heil! Sieg heil! Sieg heil!
I'd like to have your attention here for just a minute, sir. You can see here that you can pass things back and forth. You want to hand him some papers or cigarettes, you put them right in there, you see? I want to caution you. Let me have a damn good look at anything you pass through, okay? Fine. You, sit down.
I'm hopeful. It's perfectly clear to everyone on the tribunal that had you not accepted the cabinet appointment, you would never have been indicted.
Did you talk to her today?
Yes. She sends you her love. And I must...
Is she comfortable? Are they in a comfortable place?
I assure you, Frau Speer and the children are most comfortable. And I must tell you, as I've told her, within 48 hours your sentence will be set. As I say, I'm very hopeful. And she's very hopeful that you'll be given the minimum. 4 years in prison, 5 at the very most.
Dr. Flagstaff, give Marguerite all my love. Tell her I consider my life closed. You and I both know they will hang me. learn something.
It's a foxtrot.
A what?
Foxtrot.
That makes little sense. No sense.
It's not supposed to. It's from America. Dancing, you see, is like camping out. It brings out the best and the worst in man. Very good.
Thank you.
Takes rhythm,
Well, I'm being rhythmic.
patience.
There's no man on this earth who's more patient than myself.
It takes a sense of timing.
Patience, rhythm, timing. Ever since I married you, I've been developing my sense of timing.
Wow. Most of all, it takes concentration.
Come in. You know, ones in the brown shirts, they want the Nazis to run our country. The other wants the communists to run our country. 3 times now, the same argument in the same street in 1 year. Are you a communist?
No, I'm not.
Nazi?
No.
Well, so what are you?
I'm confused.
Confused? Ah, it's good. See, they're not confused, huh? They know exactly what they want. They want to kill each other. Night and day. We're not a nation anymore. We are a monotony of chaos. Stay confused. It's safer. How old are you?
25.
A month.
March
Date.
19th.
Mathematician.
No.
No?
I intended to study mathematics, but my father persuaded me to study architecture.
And his father before him.
Yes.
People tell you that you're too young to be entrusted with a commission, yes?
They say that very often.
You're very anxious. Very anxious to get on with your work.
Yes.
You'd give anything to obtain a commission.
Yes.
Anything? Even your immortal soul?
Yes. No.
Ah.
I'll keep my immortal soul.
Your career will match your ambition. You will rise rapidly. You will win early fame. You will retire early.
Adolf Hitler is an actor, nothing more and nothing less. Oh, he's effective, impressive, capable. God knows he knows his own business. But what exactly is his business? Acting. Give him a play, but don't give him our government. Let him have a stage, but don't let him have a vote. He belongs to the theaters, not the Reichstag. He has no credentials. However, at the moment we're a democracy, and we're blessed or cursed with the privilege to think or not to think, to listen or not to listen to Adolf Hitler. God help us, all of us, if he and his Nazis ever get into power.
Do you agree with him?
Of course.
Why?
I understand Hitler is a very restless man who makes a great many gestures.
What he makes is a great deal of sense.
If you sign on the dotted line, they send you a little pin and give you a large number and allow you to pay them 6 marks a month.
Students, faculty, professors, and friends. 10 years and 4 months ago, when I was a poor ex-soldier, I spent a great deal of time studying the faces of people. People in crowds, at public places, on the street. I was searching for certain faces. Friendly faces. I like friendly faces. But I must tell you, I have to tell you, that some of those faces in the Reichstag are not very friendly at all.
I've a feeling we're in for a blowy evening. They tell me he overuses the word unshakable.
However, we are not friendly to decadence and negative thinking. We do not smile when we see self-destructiveness and deceit and sellout and compromise. It is my belief, my absolute, unshakable belief, that we True. Oh, so true. It is my belief that I do use that word much, much too often. There's a street in Berlin where long lines of Berliners wait in the cold with their wedding rings, with their watches, even their eyeglasses. They wait to sell them to a pawnbroker so they can eat one more day. These are older people, and their dreams of golden years have been shattered by a cruel inflation that has made their life savings worthless. There's no work for these people, with their hearts and their souls and their dignity. There's no work for 5 million of our younger people. I am talking about calamities tonight. Because I want to put an end to these calamities. Help me. Give me your trust and your confidence, and I promise you, you will never repent it. Can hold out our hands to our older citizens and tell them, yes, they will have their golden years, and the spectre of inflation will never again be a black shadow over their heads. No more pawnbrokers! Rescue our nation from those treaties that constrain us from solving our economic problems. You and I can see to it that future generations of innocent Germans will not be burdened with reparation payments. Rescue our nation from those bankers who would sell away our future. From the communists who would plunder it. From the buyers and sellers of our birthright. From the excessive influence of the Jews in our cultural and economic life. Above everything, my dear friends, I want you to join me. And together, you and you and you and you and you and I will make this sacred German land forever strong, forever free, forever without want.
Wallenstein. If you have any questions, Wallenstein, then write them down. Bring them over to district headquarters. I'll see that the Fuhrer gets them.
They say he has the power. Did he hypnotize you?
No. Not at all.
Happy New Year. As of January 13th, 1931, you are party member number 474481. Is that correct?
Yes, it seems to be. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm Carl Hampton. Congratulations. Do you have a student named Eric Wallenstein?
Yes, I know him. Why?
In one of your classes?
Yes.
Good student, poor student, what?
Very good student. Why?
He's a Jew.
Oh, I really don't know.
I know. I have to know. The director of the district headquarters, West End, expects me to know.
Who's the director of the district headquarters?
West End?
West End.
Me. Do you own a car?
Yes. Convertible.
Well, this is a doubly important day, and I congratulate you again. It gives me great pleasure to tell you that today you have also been appointed head of the Motorists Association of the National Socialist Party, 1C Sector.
Who appointed me?
I did. Just now. Paying a few marks a month in party dues isn't the National Socialist Party's idea of settling political obligations. Courier duty.
Are we going to have time to get something to eat? Oh, yes, I think so, sir. Do I know that man? Is he on the faculty? No. Not a student? No, sir.
Where are they?
I don't know, my Fuhrer.
You don't know? You don't know? Swear that you people, he doesn't know! You should have stayed in America and played football! Do you have any idea at all what we're doing? Do you have the remotest idea what you're supposed to be doing? In that dumb Harvard University mind of yours? Do you have any idea at all what any of this is all about? I am campaigning! 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 I am campaigning to be elected to the presidency. I am campaigning from one end of this country to the other. To meet and talk to my voters. That is my job. That is my task. Your job, Tootsie, is infinitely simpler. All you have to do is arrange to have ground transportation available when I crawl off that damned airplane. So I ask you again, where are they? Where are the couriers? Where are the cars? I want to know!
Ernst Stengel.
Spear.
Are you a regular?
Courier, what do you do?
Make him laugh now and then, watch his car, and anything else he tells me when he's in this mood. Bring them around!
waiting for now, stupid? Are we late enough already?
When the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even, brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel. When a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel.
I always feel that children lend a genuine warmth to the Christmas festivities, don't you agree?
Oh, yes.
You must eat that up, you know, Marguerite. You must keep up your strength and your health.
I feel very good, Father. I assure you my health is excellent.
Have you been to see the doctor?
Yes.
Well, what did he say?
Well, just what I've told you, Father, that I'm in good health.
How long have you been married, my dear?
4 years, Father.
Yes, 4 years and 4 months.
Since Christmas.
A month? I can't believe we've been here
Get
that
out
long.
of there, you silly
Come on.
dog. Come back here.
You go get it.
Hello, Mother.
Albert! Now, is this good news or bad?
I believe Father feels it's bad.
That's not what I'm asking. I just want to know whether this appointment means that Hitler's political career is over.
I don't know, Mother. What makes you think that might be so?
Well, it's just possible that Hitler has been appointed to be Chancellor of Germany so that Herr von Papen and President Hindenburg can control him and put him on the sideline for the rest of his life.
Again, Mother, I have to confess, I don't know. You surprise me, Mother. I'd never have predicted today that you and I would discuss politics.
At my age, it's not good to be too predictable. But I must say I would be very disappointed if this rumor were true.
You keep surprising me, Mother.
And for some reason, I seem to amuse you. Are you laughing at me?
No, for just a moment there, you sounded very much like a loyal party member.
I am a loyal party member. I've been for a year. But you don't need to mention it to your father. I doubt if he'd understand.
Mother, you're secret and deep.
Oh, I would hope so.
Yes?
Spear, come to Berlin. Come now. Things are happening here, important things. You want to be part of them, don't you?
Yes.
I'll expect you at the ministry.
There's plenty of work for the party.
Yes, I know.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Our brand new Chancellor has labeled the Reichstag fire the first act of a general communist insurrection. Do you believe that?
There's a clear and present danger to the nation.
I've read his newspapers, don't quote them. I want to know what you think.
It would seem so.
And what do you think of all the power that's been handed over to him by our poor befuddled old president?
Extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures.
You're quoting his newspapers again.
You ask me questions. I'm trying to answer them.
And I'm telling you the writing's on the wall. He's out to destroy the upper classes, anyone who's cultured or intellectual. Remember what I say to you today, Albert. I warn you, whatever you build for this man or his officers, you're building to glorify a tyranny.
No, Father, I build because it's my profession. I know nothing about politics or tyrannies. Well, Mother, we seem to be saying goodbye again.
Good luck. Good luck, Albert. What's happening to you two? Or am I being tactless?
No, just saying goodbye. A different goodbye today. Not just goodbye to your mother and me, but a goodbye to everything that you once held of important value in your life.
Father, I have to protest. That is simply not so.
Well, you must forgive me if that's the way I feel.
Goodbye, Father.
Is your father right?
My father is emotional.
I'm quoting the minister. The German film industry can only be reestablished on a healthy basis if German nationality is remembered in the industry and German nature is portrayed by it. Unquote.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler. At the Kaiserhof Hotel at 8 o'clock Thursday evening. I'll see that he gets the message. Welcome. Garage, please.
Garage?
Have his car brought round at once.
Right away, Herr Henke.
Heil Hitler. March 21st is the anniversary of the founding of the First Reichstag of the Second Reich.
I'll take it.
Neither do I. What's wrong?
It's addressed to the minister's adjutant.
That's me. Heil Hitler. As well as personal advisor and appointment secretary to the very punctual little doctor who has a very big job these days. He can make you or break you in an instant. If you examine that invoice, I'm certain you'll find that that was ordered 6 weeks ago. Good evening, Dr. Goebbels.
Car?
On its way.
Under no circumstances? Yes, I will be glad to attend if I am to speak. Let them furnish the subject.
You were assistant to Professor Tessenau at the University of Berlin at one time.
Yes, sir.
The academic life has completely lost its attraction, yes?
The academic salary has lost its attraction for me.
Professor Tessenau is a very gifted and able man. Did you not find him so?
Oh, yes, very much so, sir.
Remind me to phone before noon tomorrow, and will you take care of these before you go home tonight? What's that girl's name?
Anne-Marie Kemp, Doctor.
Does Fräulein Kemp quite fit in out here in the reception area, Hanker?
She is very efficient here, Doctor.
Nevertheless, take her away from the outer office. Let her be efficient elsewhere. Well, read it.
Every morning, the editors of the 7 Berlin daily newspapers and the correspondents with those that are published elsewhere in the Third Reich are told by Dr. Goebbels what news to print and what news to suppress. Dr. Goebbels exercises the same absolute control over all radio broadcasting in the Third Reich, as well as all feature films, newsreels, documentaries, and short subjects.
Yes, well, congratulate him on whoever wrote it. His accuracy.
Is that satisfactory, Spear?
Yes, of course. He's the reason you're here. He wants this ministry renovated from top to bottom, and that is your contract. Right, Hitler? Good evening, Frau Goebbels. The doctor has asked me to convey his most profound regrets. He'll be unable to dine at home this evening. Yes, of course, but right at this moment, the doctor is attending a rather difficult conference, or I would certainly put you through to him. Yes, well, rest assured that when I have the opportunity, I'll tell him, Frau Goebbels. Yes, yes. And he's also asked me to tell you not to be concerned if he is very late. Yes. Good night. Pick me up in an hour. My dear friend, because I want you to have a very successful and unencumbered career, I want you to tell me about Tessenau.
Professor Tessenau is a very outspoken man.
Friend of yours?
Yes. No.
Which is it?
I still regard him as a friend.
Tell your friend that the Gestapo says that he's politically unreliable.
I suppose I should thank you for warning me, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to remind you where you came from, what you are, what you could be and won't be if you continue with them.
You. Spear, I want you to meet my wife. I would hardly undertake any serious work around here without her concurrence.
Hello.
Frau Goebbels?
The doctor mentioned your name and your work many times. He tells me you're a very clever man. Are you?
I'm a very fortunate man, Frau Goebbels.
Yes, he's also quick with his tongue. You have quick ideas, you can sketch quickly. Can you begin quickly?
Immediately, Herr Doctor.
Spear, the first thing I'd have to do is make an estimate so you can
It's not what I asked. That is not the question I wanted answered. I want to know if you can begin right away, can you?
I can start right away.
Fräulein Kempf, may I introduce myself? My name...
Yes, I know who you are, Hesper.
Then you possibly know that I have a tremendous amount of work to do around here. I need all the expert help I can get. I'd be very pleased if you would consent to work with me.
I'm afraid that's entirely up to the Reich Minister's appointment secretary.
I've already spoken with Herr Henke.
April 1933. Sir, please be informed that as Commissar at the head of this cell, and by the authority given to me by my Führer Adolf Hitler, Chancellor of Germany, I call on you to announce the dismissal of all your representatives, rental agents, branch managers of Jewish extraction. I further call on you to be reminded that no more contracts of employment are to be entered into, and so far as such have been effectuated lately by transparent causes, they are to be cancelled immediately. Give them leave of absence immediately. How very smart you look this evening, Fräulein Keller. I emphasize, it is not religion, but race that is decisive here. Christianized Jews are thus equally affected. In place of these gentlemen, only members of the National Socialist Party are to be employed from here on. Yes, excellent, excellent. That goes to all 6 American film exchanges in Berlin. Be sure you address them to the individual managers. I think that's all.
Party rally coming up at Tempelhof. Yes? Of course, this is Handke. What area of that administration did you expect to have the final authority? Good. Well then, now you know.
Well? Well, very bad.
Can you do any better?
Of course.
Then do it.
I thought you might like something to eat.
No time.
The era of the Jewish intellectualism now is over, and the eruption of the German Revolution is clearing the path for the German way of life once again. It is good that at this midnight hour you are committing the evil spirit of the past to the flames. It is a strong, great, symbolic act. An act which will bear witness before all the world to the fact that from these ashes will arise the phoenix of a new spirit. Let us at this moment join together in a vow which under this sky and lit by these flames will be an oath. The Reich, our nation, and our Führer, Adolf Hitler! Heil!
Tonight I discovered that if you're very, very blonde and you wear boots, possibly attain the very best this life has to offer. Do you believe that?
Of course not. Tonight was stupid, crazy, wild, out of control.
Was Goebbels out of control, too?
No. Very much in control, I'm afraid. Tonight was his idea of some sort of triumph. I can't explain the man, Marguerite. He's very difficult, very complex, very hard to decipher.
You traded Professor Tessenau for Dr. Goebbels. He's your new mentor, and you have to keep trying. Your father's right, you know. How to destroy everything that is good in this country.
Dr. Goebbels is my superior. I have to do my work.
Deputy Fuhrer Hess wants to see you at National Party headquarters in Munich, and he wants to see you right now. But before you get on that train, let me remind you that Dr. Goebbels feels that it is his sacred duty to keep the Fuhrer's mind free for state decisions and not cluttered up with a lot of new faces and names to remember. And he feels that he can handle most of the people and the problems that would come to the Fuhrer's attention. Just remember that the Fuhrer has seen your sketches, and he's most enthusiastic.
He has beer.
Yes.
Your ticket.
Oh.
And your hat.
Oh, by the way, the doctor is going to take credit for your ideas.
I don't understand.
That's all part of the doctor's ways and means of not cluttering the Fuhrer's mind with a new name and a new face to remember.
Mind?
Now you understand. I can see by your eyes that you understand.
Only the Führer can decide this sort of thing.
Every bird has a mate, every poodle has a day. In the bar, in Paris, in the spring. Oh, every duck, every needs to get his everything. In the bar, in Paris, in the spring.
This where the Chancellor of Germany lives?
Yes, second floor.
Spear? Come on. The Fuhrer's expecting you. Go in.
Put them there. Agreed.
Yes, my Führer. Spear, wait. Yes, my Führer. You're to go back to National Party headquarters now. Deputy Führer Hess will brief you there. His chief of staff is expecting you.
I'm Bormann. This way.
Come. The Führer has decided to incorporate some of your ideas at Tempelhof this year.
That will be all.
Years ago, in Vienna, even before I knew him, the Führer wanted to study architecture. Tried to study architecture. Perhaps in his soul of souls, he still yearns to be an architect. Did you get that feeling from him, Spear?
No.
Perhaps that is because really he is not an architect. Is he, Spear?
No.
What is he? What is he? What is Adolf Hitler, Spear?
Why, he's the Chancellor of Germany.
Führer! 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 Adolf Hitler is your Führer. He is your leader in all things at all times. Keep that clearly in mind. At no time is Adolf Hitler anything less than your Führer.
You slipped through. You weren't supposed to get closer to the Führer than his adjutant. You weren't supposed to see him at all.
The Deputy Führer Hess arranged it.
He's a terribly confused man. If he'd had the remotest idea that you were to be received by the Führer, I can assure you, you would have been the very smallest part of a very large delegation at the very back of the room. Train tickets. Car's waiting downstairs. Have a pleasant trip. Spear. I'm not a forgetting man.
Correspondent for one of the New York papers.
The New York Times.
That's right, New York Times. I told him I had nothing but genuine and complete admiration for Mr. Roosevelt, the way he's taken over the office, the way he's actually become their president.
I couldn't agree more. Neither could I, my Führer.
Definitely their president.
The office and the man, one and the same.
Roosevelt is the White House. No detours, no side roads, just straight through, over the Congress, over the lobbies, over the whole Washington bureaucracy. Roosevelt simply refuses to let anyone or anything slow him down.
Gentlemen, we have a rather large agenda today.
Spear?
5 minutes.
There are, Reich. That's all a perfect example of the kind of waste and corruption that happens in a democracy.
Well, laziness and liberalism, not the Germans. Germans like tight public order, part of our blood, character of the nation. This place is a shambles. They gather right down there and demand a blessing of me. I'm not the Pope, Spear, but I have to do something. They come from all over the country. Can you pull out this window? Make a balcony for me?
Certainly.
Not here. A balcony, oh no. Professor Truth's plans for the renovation. Professor Truth insists that his plans be adhered to strictly. It is not my place to say, of course, for Spear, but it would be most inadvisable to respond to any casual suggestion today that might be forgotten tomorrow.
You're quite right, Herr Elster. It isn't your place to say.
We do not pray to the Almighty. Lord, make us free. We wish to be active, to work, to behave.
Primo Carnera may be the heavyweight champion of the world, but he's hardly the Reich's chancellor.
We can stand before the Lord and beseech
The
him.
right film, please.
Thou seest that we have become different, that the German people is no longer a people without honor, a people covered with shame, a people at war with itself, a people of little courage. No, Lord!
Yes, I'll be right with you, Spear.
The German people have become strong again, in its spirit, strong, in its will, strong, in its perseverance, strong!
Yes, let's stay at the wide shot while the crowd are cheering, responding to the Sieg Heils, but when the Fuhrer is speaking, I want more close-ups.
Day and our freedom, and with our German people and our fatherland. Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil!
Spear? Yes, I'll be right with you. One moment, please. Where's that footage on Rome? Is it here today?
Yes, he ought to be at the end of this.
I want all this footage to emphasize the long association and great friendship that has always existed between the Führer and SA leader Ernst Röhm.
And what about Rust?
Sorry, Spear. Where is he?
He's next.
I don't want Rust on the screen longer than 30 seconds.
Henceforth, in all public
Will you
schools,
see to that for me,
teachers and
please?
pupils will greet each other.
Spear.
Heil Hitler. Thumb level with the eye. This salute is expected of every German in every walk of life, every day. There will be no exceptions. It is now the law of the land.
I'm so very glad you dropped by tonight, Spear, if for no other reason than to get me out of that projection room. Magda says I spend most of my time watching film. She says it'll ruin my eyes. Well, we're all busy these days. I've heard that you're keeping the Führer very busy, too.
Oh, he's keeping me busy.
Well, that's his way.
The higher he aims, the more a man grows. The Führer's favorite phrase.
Oh, yes, yes.
The Führer does have a way of making a man feel indispensable, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
I find him very like a woman in that respect. He can make you unhappy one moment and deliriously happy the next.
You are a very busy architect these days.
I just commented on that very thing.
Did you?
I'll bet you did. Hi, pal.
Why don't you pour our guest a drink?
That's your office. He's your guest. You pour him a drink.
I hate to admit it, but you're absolutely correct.
I try.
I suppose the Führer wants the work on the residency done as soon as possible.
Yes, he's very anxious to see it completed.
He's always in a rush, always. Never changes.
And you want to please the Führer, don't you, Spear?
Of course.
I understand the Führer's taking great personal interest in the renovation.
Yes.
He's looking over your shoulder all the time.
More or less.
Must be nerve-wracking.
He likes the details, sir.
Oh, we all know that.
We certainly do.
Doesn't that bother you?
No.
Oh.
I can understand it.
Can you?
I can understand him.
Can you indeed?
Understand him? Really? Is that so?
Yes, I think I do understand him.
Brandy all right for you, Spear?
Fine, sir.
It's always a mistake to understand the Führer too quickly. Or too simply.
Or too glibly. You see, Spear, a great many people come into his ken each day. It's only natural that some should delude themselves with false hopes.
What false hopes?
Doctor.
What false hopes, Doctor?
I don't think he understands what you're saying. Do you?
Do you understand what I'm saying? Why I sent for you?
No.
Well, Herr Professor Trust is very conscious of his professional and academic standing. Even the Führer must see him by appointment at his studio in Munich. Playing the role of surrogate architect for Trust isn't going to open up any new vistas that you might be seeing for yourself these days, Pierre. Trust has been, is, and always will be the Führer's personal architect. An inner and an outer circle revolves around the Führer. There is no way, no possible way, that anyone will make room for you in that inner circle.
No. Thank you, Doctor.
Jordan, up! Up! Breathing! Out! Right!
all night? Isn't there some way you can shut him up so I can get my picture?
I want to talk to you seriously. Look, my dewy friend, you slept with this Gentile girl. That's nothing to cry about. I don't think you're being very manly. My little friend, all we want you to do is stop crying. Blow your nose and smile for the pretty birdie. Damn it, I don't think that's asking too much. Cheer up. Be happy. We're all happy, aren't we?
Let's have one more of my little man in the suit.
Learn. You must learn to turn your eyes away.
What is this spear? It's not regular plaster, is it?
Ground seashells. The Italians and the Greeks made a mortar from them. Very hard, very moisture resistant.
Clumsy. I want you to have lunch with me today.
I'm afraid I'm...
Don't you worry about that. I'll take care of it.
Well, hope you're all hungry today. I'm famished. Come on, sit down, sit down. Set a new place here for my colleague.
Handsome jacket, Spear.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes, we both thank you, Doctor.
We shall have to go to Munich one of these days and wear sackcloth and ashes for Professor Troost when he sees some of the changes we've made on his original plans. You know, come to think of it, I thought he was looking a bit frail. Not that he's ever been a robust man, but particularly frail, I thought. A bit slow the last time I saw him. And that age, you know, should take very special care of himself.
Well, any age, really. We all have but this one instrument, and we must all use it as sparingly and carefully as possible. After all, now, this is interesting. We are all exactly what we eat. No more, no less. And, for instance, to me, the very idea of eating animal flesh has become so odious that I'm inclined to diet myself to fruits and vegetables for the rest of my life. Believe me, vegetarians will inherit this earth.
This is a great honor, Monsieur.
Thank you.
This is the most important day of my life.
Good morning to you.
My
Bring honor to our village.
And a very good morning to you.
Oh.
Thank you.
My Führer.
My friend.
Good morning, my Führer.
Hitler fever for the Chancellor of Germany. Your Führer and mine, who did not drag us to Obersalzberg to discuss with us anything he couldn't discuss at some other time and some other place. Is it 2 o'clock yet?
As a matter of fact, it is exactly 2 o'clock.
The Chancellor of Germany standing in front of the house with the dog.
Yes.
The brown tweed suit. The brown scarf with the white polka dots.
Yes.
And the velour hat with the feather.
Yes.
That's a nice touch. And the expectant look, above all.
Yes.
And
Now the Führer's car approaching, but, bearing the bodies of two loyal secretaries, Frau Wolf and Frau Schröder. And?
Frau Wolf, Frau Schröder, and?
And?
I don't know.
Her name's Eva Braun, pal. She's the girlfriend.
You see, I've lost so much time. I have to work twice as fast now. Well, I'll stay in power for 22 years, then I'll retire. But first I have to get more power so that I don't have to bother with the cabinet. Because now they think they have a perfect right to meddle in things that are absolutely none of their business. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Wonderful day. Wonderful day. I had my way on outlaw skiing in this country. Dangerous, freezing, crippling business. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Snow makes me so depressed.
We share it all beneath our ceiling of blue. We'll spend a heavenly day here where the whispering waters play. There's a whippoorwill that's calling you. Fly on the phone, he's dreaming too. There's a magic melody Mother Nature sings to me. These high waterfalls with you.
He's very much against smoking.
Can I join you?
Oh, yes, yes, of course. And I don't know what I'm going to do when he gets really serious about eating nothing but vegetables and fruit. It's a worry. You're a college professor?
I was a college professor.
You're very young.
You're very young.
Oh, I don't feel young or old. I feel good. I'm never sick, and that's more important than anything I can think of. You're not any different. People are usually very different at close range. You're not at all.
Eva?
Albert.
If we are going to be friends, I think I should tell you that I'm not just a person from nowhere. No one really is. No one exists in a vacuum. But I know it's on your mind. And I know you're wondering. I was working as a photographic assistant for Heinrich Hoffmann when I met him. He was in love with another woman at that time. She committed suicide. I have a mother, a father, and 2 sisters who constantly tell me that the day I met him was the bitterest day of my life.
Well, the doctor is the smartest of the bunch, but it'll probably take him the longest to figure out what to do about you.
What should he do about me?
Nothing. You don't threaten him. You don't threaten any of them. They don't have to compete with you the way they do with each other. You're in a class all by yourself, my friend. You're an artist. Once they figure that out, if they figure it out, they'll leave you alone. All except him. Don't ever turn your back on him. He'll always be at your throat or at your feet.
They were sleeping.
Who's
That's Spear. Oh, very nice to see you again.
Frau Goebbels.
May I present my family? This is Helga, and this is Hilde.
Come on, let's take them in. Mind how you go. There we go.
I can't hide from all the things that are Nazi. I can't pretend that they're happening somewhere else, to someone else.
But you managed to keep this desperation from him.
Not very well, I'm afraid. Not the way a proper German housewife should.
Well, that's what you want to be, is it? A proper German housewife?
Of course. But if I speak of these things any more than I already have, then I would have to demand that he condemn them. He won't do that.
Now listen to me, my dear. We're not enemies, you and I. We 3 are bound together. By memory, by fear, by the simple word love. If there's anything on which I'm an authority, it is love.
You surprised me, Father.
I dare say. Ah, you smile so nicely. This love, you know, is a very serious business. With the profoundest obligations. You do love him, don't you?
I love him.
And you need him?
I need him.
And he needs you.
No.
Oh, yes, he does. Though neither of you may think so. He needs you, and he needs this child that's coming, and all the children you can give him, to provide the sanity which otherwise is missing. One of these days, his obsession with this gutter politician will come to an end. But in the meantime, what are we to do?
Yes.
The most difficult thing in the world is to teach yourself to live with something you hate in order to keep the thing you love. Is that wine not to your liking?
No, it's very good.
Why are you crying then?
I love you, Father.
Professor Tissenau has been removed from the university. He might have been arrested and sent to Sachsenhausen.
Sachsenhausen?
They're not sure.
This is your father. He's your friend, Albert.
I hope Herr Hitler hasn't blinded you to that.
Yes, I know. Goodbye.
You have a friend in Sachsenhausen? Maybe. What is it?
It's a place that has been designed to benefit those of any race, faith, or social position who have not been able to accept the fact that the Third Reich has definitely and irrefutably dawned. At dear old Sachsenhausen, our gallant SS men instill in such persons a feeling for discipline and order, neatness and comradeship. You look unimpressed. You are not interested in our National Socialistic movement?
Frankly, I'm not.
You, eat with him? You go to the movies with him? You talk to him? He talks to you? If he drank, you drink with him? You are the nearest thing he's got to a friend. I know, I was there once myself. It's a pretty powerful position, being his pal. Pal.
Albert Speer calling from the Führer's home at Obersalzberg.
Yes, yes.
Is this the Reich's minister?
Yes, how can I serve you, Herr Speer?
I am calling in relation to this matter of Professor Heinrich Tessenau.
There is no doubt about the seriousness of Professor Tessenau's situation, Herr Speer.
He's been under surveillance for 6 months. Most incriminating.
Most regrettable. Misunderstanding.
No. Herr Staff. I assure you, Herr Speer, we have been most careful.
Be right there.
Has Professor Tessenau been dismissed from the educational chamber?
Of course. The evidence is overwhelming.
And has he been removed from his seat at the university?
Yes. But again, I must tell you that the
Those
evidence...
are definitely mistakes. Has he been sent to Sachsenhausen?
Not yet. But Herr Stauffer can answer any questions that you might have.
Are we talking at cross purposes?
I would hope not.
I'm not here to ask questions. I'm here to call these certain mistakes to your attention so they can be rectified. Professor Tessenau must be readmitted to the educational chamber and restored to his seat at the university without prejudice, without interference, without surveillance, and most of all, Herr Reichsminister, without delay.
Last October, I went to Munich to lay the cornerstone for the House of Art. Troost had designed a special silver hammer for the occasion. When I tapped the brick with it, it shattered in my hand. Right then, I knew something was going to happen. It was an evil omen. Well, now we know why the hammer broke that day. It's all very clear. Troost was destined to die.
Attend to Frau Goebbels, will you? See that she gets home safely.
May I express my condolences, Albert? I quite understand the high regard you held for Professor Troost.
Thank you, Frau Goebbels.
I suppose you'll be taking over all of Troost's work now.
Yes. It seems so.
Yes. It would.
Agreed?
Now,
Better get used to it, as we make department chief.
I'll never get used to it, Albert. Never get used to any of it or any of them.
He'll be here any minute. The Führer's coming. I just arrived. He'll be here any minute, our Führer.
Good evening.
Good evening, my Führer. May I present Frau Speer?
Indeed. You may. Certainly you may. And may I have the pleasure of bidding you a very good evening. Frau Speer.
Good evening.
Speer, why have you deprived us of your wife for so long? I have something that I must tell you. Your husband is going to erect buildings for me, such as have not been created for 4,000 years.
These clothes fit very well, don't they?
Thank you.
I've done something wrong.
We're leaving.
Why?
It's ridiculous how you've been forcing on everyone.
Have I been doing that?
Magda Goebbels says her children have the measles. You laugh. The deputy Führer mentions a back problem. You laugh. The field marshal tells us his wife just died. You laugh. Anything, everything that was serious or tragic was laughable. Why, Marguerite? Why?
I suppose because I find everything and anything of no real importance next to the things that have been happening around us.
There is something of real importance happening around us. You seem to be totally unaware of. And I'd like you to take particular notice of it. The Romans and the Greeks left the substance of their civilization behind them in architecture. It still remains for all the world to see. It is important. Now, every day he's asking me to design the substance of the Third Reich in natural stone and Nordic brick. I intend to do exactly that. And I will not let you interfere.
I met them. You wanted me to meet them. You'll want me to meet them again. I'll do that, too. I'll be polite. I'll talk to them. I'll even listen to them. But I never want to see them in my house. I won't ask them. If they come, I will leave.
Agreed.
Come in. Oh, come in. Don't just stand there.
I'm glad you dropped by. I had it on my calendar to ring you tomorrow. What have you got there?
I would very much like your opinion, sir.
Whatever happened to all those ideas of simple craftsmanship and architectonic expressiveness we discussed so often?
I hope I've remembered and achieved some of that, sir. I've missed those discussions very much.
A minimum of pomp is always the deciding factor. It's too flashy. Way too flashy. That one's just plain tawdry. I really can't blame your friend Hitler for getting rid of his old friend Rome. Dysgenic disasters like Ernst Röhm and his stormtroopers are really quite embarrassing for him now. The same problem here. Pretentious. They've had their day. They've kicked in more than their share of faces, stomped on enough groins, and besides, it's time for Herr Hitler to get down to serious business with big business. And the army, of course, compounds the same problem. He picked you because you're respectable. Why did you pick him?
Adolf Hitler can save Germany.
Oh, I disagree. Adolf Hitler can ruin Germany, and he intends to do exactly that. He's an insatiably destructive man with delusions of grandeur. And he's going to look silly tromping around that big concrete tomb at Nuremberg, wearing those big brown pants that don't fit him. Sooner or later, I'm sure he will find it quite impossible not to declare war on the whole world. Has he ever mentioned it to you?
We never discuss politics. I'm not a political man.
Then your decision to become a Nazi would appear to be somewhat frivolous.
I'm not a Nazi.
Oh, yes, you are. You are, no matter what you tell yourself. You're a Nazi, Spear. A big, tall one with plenty of respectability. Yes, it's all showy. Nothing but show. You're more dangerous than the bullies in the brown shirts. You're more deadly than the layabouts and louts in the black pants at Sachsenhausen, who were waiting to teach me to be a National Socialist. Cheap. You're worse than any of them, Spear. You understand what he's doing, where he's going. And this is blatant again. You just don't have the courage to resist him. By the way, I don't owe you a damned thing.
I've been thinking. I want you to feel safe again. I want you to know that I love you forever. What a wonderful thing it is to have a son. What a wondrous thing you've done. And I promise you, we'll have our time together. No more interruptions.
Herr Spear? Our Führer says a woman has her battlefield too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers on the left hand. With each child she brings into the nation, right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. She is fighting her fight on behalf of the nation. Left foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes. The honor cross of motherhood is given to those who meet the quota of bearing 4 children into the Third Reich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes on the right foot. A bronze medal for more than 4. This is a male child. A silver medal for more than... His eyes are blue. For more than 8 children. Heil Hitler.
The Führer has appointed me head of the unified police system. In that capacity, I shall be in charge of all security arrangements at Nuremberg. Frau Speer is well?
Oh, yes.
Good. I can best ascertain what security problems to anticipate if you will provide me with the exact plans you intend to use.
Of course.
Frau Speer, her name is Marguerite?
Yes, it is.
Frau Himmler's name is also Marguerite. 7 children, 2 sons, 5 daughters. A son is good, very good.
President von Hindenburg has just died.
I swear before God to give my unconditional obedience to Adolf Hitler.
I swear before God to give my unconditional obedience to Adolf Hitler.
Führer of the Reich and its people, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces.
Führer of the Reich and its people, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces.
And I pledge my word as a brave soldier to observe this oath, even at the risk of my life.
And I pledge my word as a brave soldier to observe this oath, even at the risk of my life.
He wants to see you right away.
Tell me about it. I want to know about it.
It's only a theory right now.
Tell me, right now.
Well, iron, steel, all metals eventually become old, aged. So why don't we use cements and bricks? I'm hoping, trying to devise a protectorate or even replaceable materials so that the deterioration is less rapid. As I say, it's only a theory.
1,000 years?
My Führer.
1,000 years. Can you make a building last 1,000 years?
I hope to do that, my Führer.
I pray you do that, my friend.
Soon the whole world will know your work. What they will not know is that all of my building plans extend far into the future. I want someone who will be able to continue after my death. With the authority I conferred upon him, Speer, I see you as that man.
Even if some of us should be struck down by fate, Germany must live! Even if we have to bear anguish and sorrow, Germany must remain in spite of the anguish and sorrow. Thus, we shall pledge this evening, at this hour, that nothing shall be on our mind but Germany. We are strong, and we will become stronger. Germany has done everything possible to assure world peace. The age of nerves of the 19th century has found its close with us. If war comes to Europe, it will come only because of communist chaos. Germany has been the breakwater against the communist floods, and we will stand. This Germany will stand for the next 1,000 years!
You're a famous man now, Herr Spear.
I'm a thirsty man now.
What can I get for you?
Same as his.
Right away.
Sorry.
Now, I want to extend my congratulations. I've heard, and so has she, that Fuhrer has told you to rebuild Berlin from top to bottom.
Where did you hear that?
It's all over the city.
It's supposed to be a secret.
Oh. Well, is it true?
Yes. The Fuhrer has commissioned me to start drawing plans for a whole new city.
And after it's finished?
I'll take Marguerite for a trip around the world.
Oh, drop in and see me. Probably New York.
You're leaving? When?
I don't exactly know. And I don't think I'd say. Ever been to Blankenberg, Spear? There's a reformatory there. Boys 14 to 18. It's a strange place. No fences, no lock gates. But hardly anyone ever runs away. There's no place to run. You'd think that there would be some kind of a natural instinct for freedom, to run, to get out of the place. But there isn't. They say the kids lose their instinct right away. The system makes them lose their instinct. Where did your instinct go?
What?
Not even an incredible. Dear God, Spear, the whole damn country is turning into one big Blankenberg.
You always know what's happening. There's no news.
Oh, well. Oh, it's that business in Paris. Our third secretary there, von Roth. Von Rath? Something like that. Was shot 2 days ago. He died last night. The killer was a Jew. A boy, 17. He'd just heard about his parents. They were being deported back to Poland from Berlin with a lot of others. The guards put them off the train at the border, and the Poles wouldn't take them back. A new law. It's very cold there this time of year. Swampy land. And no one's fault. They froze to death.
I shouldn't have taken the liberty. Frau Goebbels, believe me.
It's quite all right. Herr Speer? No. Don't go. Just yet. I should like to say that normally a woman in my position would be enraged with the doctor for his indiscretions. Normally that rage would be totally ineffective, and normally I would bury myself in the task of raising my family. I chose not to do that. Do you understand?
Yes.
This boy meant to shoot the ambassador. Instead, he hit this
Von Rath. Von Roth? Whatever his name is, the third secretary. Incidentally, Von Roth was under investigation by the Gestapo for pro-Jewish activity. It's a very unfortunate situation, all the way around.
You will find some piece of spaghetti on your shoe, huh?
And my final wish to you is that the new year of 1939 will bring your country and mine ever closer together. Signed, Benito Mussolini, Il Duce.
Many così with a meat sauce, and some lasagnas, and some spaghettis, and some raviolis, and some hell of a New Year too, huh? Signed the Big Papa from Roma.
Admiral Horthy of Hungary, King Carol of Romania. This one's from the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, and Colonel Charles Lindbergh. And this one's from George Bernard Shaw, and here Neville Chamberlain.
Ah, indeed. Mr. Neville Chamberlain.
Dear Mr. Hitler, may the new year bring the assurance of peace that both of our nations pray for so devoutly. Quite. And a little quite.
My dear, would you please be so kind as to take your position for the photograph? And over here. Come along, please. Please, Herr Pullman. Only take a moment.
She's such a bad actress. Really quite untalented.
Who is such a bad actress?
That Czechoslovakian slut you've been sleeping with.
Oh, which Czech...
Happy New Year, Dr. Gale.
And to you, my dear.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Which Czechoslovakian slut would that be?
Lida Barova, don't you remember? The one with the elephantine hips. I do wish you'd go and live with her and leave me and the children alone. Joey Lee.
Magda, don't ever call me Joe Ali in public.
Doctor, if you please.
Oh, yes.
Come along. Well, it's been quite apparent to everyone tonight that Martin Bormann has replaced you. Day by day, minute by minute, second by second, he is moving closer to the Führer. And you are being moved farther and farther away. Eventually, you will be pushed out altogether. You are already excluded from the Obersalzberg. Martin Bormann's there. Martin Bormann answers the telephone. Martin Bormann decides whether or not you can speak to the Führer. You must do something before it's too late.
What must I do?
You must reinstate yourself.
Excuse me, just a second, for the photograph.
Mm-hmm.
Now?
Let's dance. Dancing brings out the best and the worst in a man.
Who told you that?
You did. Years ago. Why so sad?
None of this is going to last. None of it.
Wonderful surprise. It's nice to see you. You look very well.
Well, who wouldn't look well in a carefree, happy-go-lucky country like this? How wide's that?
Oh, I actually forgot. Carl, how wide is...
400 feet wide, 3 miles long.
What have you done with the Anhalter and Potsdam railroad stations?
Oh, I put them over there, south of Tempelhof. The dome
will be 825 feet in diameter, approximately 410,000 square feet below it. Room for about 150,000 people.
A whole new Berlin. All this.
Yes.
It's madness. Utter madness.
One moment he insists I go to Dr. Morel and have a complete physical. And the next minute he tells me he's dying and that I should leave him and find someone younger and healthier. Blondie can't help it if she's not an Alsatian. Just a poor old pooch who happens not to be a thoroughbred police dog. He won't even have his picture taken with her anymore. He says it hurts his public image. You know what?
What?
I'm a girl who doesn't give a damn about the public.
He makes a prisoner out of everyone, doesn't he?
This is the new Reich Chancellery, the first building to be completed in the new Berlin of the future, and the personal triumph of the Führer's young architect, Professor Albert Speer, who planned and constructed it in the incredible time of 362 days. 8:45 a.m., we have been returning the fire, and from now on, bombs will be met with bombs. I am asking of no German man more than I myself was ready throughout 4 years to do. I am, from now on, just the first soldier of the German Reich. I have once more put on that coat that was most sacred and dear to me. I will not take it off again until victory is secured, or I will not survive the outcome.
He's expecting you.
Spear. Oh. Dr. Todd. Herr Dorsch.
Now.
He asked me to tell you that there's simply no way he will have time for you today. Tomorrow? I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do?
You know what these are? I'll tell you what they are. They're draft records. Artists, painters, performers. Look. See? See what I'm doing? Those men don't exist for the draft boards any longer. I need them more at home than I do in the army. Foreman, I can't tolerate anyone ignoring my orders.
I won't tolerate it. Not even from you. I insist upon absolute obedience at all times from everyone. Now, why, in the name of God, did you take it upon yourself to go over to Benderstrasse, I've got it right here we are, and place yourself and your entire technical staff at the disposal of the High Command of the Army?
Come on, come on. Why?
I want to do whatever I can. I'm a German. We're at war.
You are at peace! I'm at war!
I'm going to tell you this just once. The war's over. The Poles are beaten. The British and the French, they're too feeble to fight.
And just what the hell do you think you can do for the army that they can't do for themselves?
I discussed using some of my men to widen roads, rebuild bridges. General Fromm thought it was an excellent idea.
To hell with General Fromm! Where's that letter? Did you write the letter? Where is it?
Is this a copy?
Yes, Vice. Now, this is the letter you sent to him.
Yes, Vice.
Look, did you receive that letter?
Yes.
Yes. All right. You ignored it.
I misunderstood it.
He wrote it down! It's right there on the paper! It's clear to me. It ought to be clear to you. In my name, you were ordered not to undertake any missions for the army or anyone else.
I was quite confident you'd approve of my actions.
You can be quite confident that I don't approve of any actions that will interfere with my plans for the reconstruction of this city.
You handle the building, Spear. Let me worry about the wars.
Woman is entrusted in the life of a nation with a great task, the care of man, soul, body, and mind, and the care of his children. It is the mission of women to minister in the home and in her profession to the needs of life from the first moment of man's existence to the last. Her mission in marriage is to bear his children, to be his comrade, his helper, his womanly complement. This is the right of women in the new Germany.
You may dress now, Frau Speer. I am delighted to tell you that you are very healthy. Very pregnant, Frau Speer. You have 4 children now. 2 boys, 2 girls. Well, do you subscribe to the Stürmer?
No.
I recommend the party magazine to every patient coming through here. How else can you know that a woman in German life performs her most important task by producing future party leaders and soldiers?
Our Führer tells us that quite often.
So he does. This is incredible. After your last child, you were entitled to the bronze medal. You never applied for it.
Well, I must have forgotten, Frau Doctor.
It is a great honor. The medal tells the world of your contribution to the Third Reich. You must apply for it, Frau Speer.
One must not create a bad impression.
Did you by any chance read the Beobachter today?
No, I'm afraid I did not.
It carried a full page of... Do you have any sons, Frau Doctor?
I have no children, Frau Speer.
Full page of paid death notices. I read every one of them. For his beloved Führer and fatherland, my only son Hans, age 22, fell on September 20th, 1939, in the Battle of Kutno in Poland. It was signed Mother. You know, it's amazing, isn't it, what the human mind can retain. I had no intention of memorizing that. None at all. By the way, do you know where Kutno is?
No.
Neither do I. I don't believe it's on the map yet.
Woman is entrusted in the life of the nation with a great task.
May I ask you another question,
Care
Frau
of
Doctor?
man, yes. Soul, body, and mind.
You?
And the care of his children. It is the mission of women to minister in the...
Did the Stirner suggest that too?
It was my own thought.
First moment of man's existence.
Can we go now, Frau Speer?
A mission in
Heil Hitler. Frau Speer.
Yes.
I said Heil Hitler.
I heard you, Frau Doctor.
His womanly complement. This is the right of women in the new Germany.
Get that light.
Why did they bomb us, Herr Speer?
They're trying to win.
Never mind that now.
Don't they know they can't win by bombing our homes?
Maybe we're bombing their homes too, hmm?
No, Herr Herzog. Our newspapers say not. We'd never do such a thing. Only military objectives.
It's the law! You will extinguish all lights and leave immediately for your assigned shelters! This is the law!
You're shooting at us!
It's shrapnel from our own guns! Come on! Come on! Go! It's the law!
And every night. Dear God, we're all going to die down here. I know it.
The German people only want peace. All of us only want peace. Why won't they make peace? 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 Why won't... Why won't they make peace? We haven't done anything wrong.
Hans, over here. Huh? Come and join us.
We're supposed to be very quiet these days.
We're supposed to be a lot of things these days.
I hear you resigned from the ministry.
My relationship with the little doctor has not been too good lately. However, I leave him with his wife, his marriage. I've been promoted. I'm the new Gauleiter at Breslau. The Fuhrer appointed me.
Congratulations.
I'm going home, Spear. Yeah, at least near home. I'm from Laban in Lower Silesia. My mother and father are still living there. He's a miller, 82 years old, and he still works every day. Doesn't understand any of this. I'm not sure I do either anymore.
Oh, Herr Speer, I know this is your appointment. Party leader Leitgen and I would like to prevail on you to allow us just a few moments to deliver this very important letter to the Fuhrer. My Fuhrer, this is a letter from the Deputy Fuhrer Hess. He ordered us to deliver it personally.
Bormann! I want Bormann, where is he? Bormann, where the hell are you when I want you? Get Goebbels going, Himmler, Ribbentrop. I want them in here right now. I want all private guests confined to the upper floors. And put those two under arrest! Hess went to England to personally ask Winston Churchill to join us against Russia. Good almighty God! What has the man got in his mind? Doesn't he know that? Where's that wife of his? I know it. I know that's what's behind it. I'm glad I never married Spear, I can tell you that. He's been behaving strangely all year, very strangely, a dozen times. He's absolutely insisted on seeing to it that he personally informs me of some very unpleasant matter in great detail. He just lay it on my desk, then he'd step back and he'd just wait there. With all those great teeth of his, I want to ask you something, Spear. Who is going to believe that I didn't put him in that plane and send him to England? Who's going to believe this whole thing isn't some part of an intrigue? I can tell you who's going to be the first man on this telephone. It's going to be the Japanese ambassador. And what am I going to tell him? Yes.
Deputy Fuhrer Hess has parachuted into Scotland. He's in the hands of the British authorities. They won't let him see Churchill yet.
Enough! Finished! That's it! The office of Deputy Fuhrer is forever abolished. There will be a new office and a new man to fill it. Gentlemen, I give you the director of the party chancellery.
One moment, please. Reich Minister Todt is calling from the Fuhrer's headquarters in Rustenburg.
You want to get into this war? What? How many men do you have in your organization?
65,000.
Listen to me. The Russians have burned everything. Every house, every farm, every barn. Worst of all, the railroad system is a shambles. It will have to be rebuilt. I want you to go to Russia, see what you can do about the situation, then meet me here at headquarters.
Heil Hitler. How did it go in Russia?
Cold. I went there to build railroads, but all I managed to do was flounder in the snow.
The Fuhrer is most anxious to see you. Unfortunately, he's in a conference with Reich Minister Todt at the moment. He'll call you when he's finished. I'll show you to your quarters.
I knew you were waiting to see him. You must be exhausted. He wouldn't let me go.
And if you find him in one of his rottener moods, you can thank me for it. I had the indelicacy to explain that our men are freezing to death out there. I've never seen such misery. These Russians are... You're next. I hear you're headed for Berlin. I'm taking off at 0800 tomorrow. Fly with me. We'll talk.
Good.
I want to call at 0700.
The Fuhrer will see you now.
Yes, I know it's unpopular to proceed with civilian construction under the duress of war. But that resentment will disappear when all the buildings planned on Adolf Hitler Platz are completed. It will be my presence in those buildings. The fact that I walked and talked and worked in that will provide inspiration for generations to come. What is your impression of Dr. Todd?
Dr. Todd is a very capable and learned man.
Sad. Fact-locked. Too many figures, no imagination. The man cannot look beyond the formula. Don't let him talk you into any more wild trips like this Russian thing again, Spear. The man's a defeatist. He demoralizes people. I won't tolerate that attitude from anyone.
Oh, tell Dr. Todd I won't be flying with him in the morning. Must get some rest.
Of course.
Yes! Spear here. Would you repeat that, please? Dr. Todd's plane's crashed. He's been killed.
The Fuhrer will see you at 1 o'clock sharp.
You'll replace Dr. Todd immediately. I appoint you Reich Minister of Armaments.
My Fuhrer, I'm not at all certain I can handle such an assignment.
I'm certain. I have every confidence in you. Yes?
The Reichsmarshal is here. He says it's urgent.
All right. I've told Conrad Hasselman you call him at the ministry, so he's expecting you. He'll tell you more.
Reichsmarshal Goring.
First, I must offer my condolences. Secondly, I would like to suggest that I take over Dr. Todd's ministry, within the framework of the four-year plan.
Reich Minister Speer is assuming all of Dr. Todd's offices as of this moment.
Herr Reich Minister, the body will arrive at Anhalter Station tomorrow at 1 o'clock. There will be a brief greeting ceremony there, then the funeral will take place in the Mosaic Room at the Chancellery. I spoke with the Air Ministry. I have the preliminary report on the Reich Minister's death. The plane exploded approximately 65 feet above the runway as it was taking off. There was a series of explosions. It disintegrated.
No further measures are requisite or intended. Does that mean this is the extent of the investigation?
You can safely presume that, yes, Herr Reich Minister. May I say something, Herr Reich Minister? In the trying days to come, I hope I shall be able to serve you loyally, as I have served Herr Dr. Todd.
The Italian ambassador talks a lot. He just couldn't wait to tell me that the foreign press are intimating that I'm to be kicked out as head of the 4-year plan because of your appointment. I've heard those same intimations, Herr Reichsmarshal, and I assure you they distress me as much as they distress you. Regardless of that distress, which I'm sure affects you very keenly, I'm also informed, and my God, how this world is full of informers, that you have composed a new organizational plan for your ministry. That is true, and that you have insisted upon the written approval for those plans from all the heads of industry and of the armed services. I regard that as outrageous, Spear. Then I'll withdraw it. My second reason of coming here is to explain that anything I'd like to accomplish can only be done with your complete approval. I'd never infringe on your position as the head of our economy. All my endeavors remain subordinate to your wishes and desires within the framework of the 4-year plan. I've made that perfectly clear. And to whom have you made all this so perfectly clear? The press. I told them there'll never be a friction or crisis between you and I, only cooperation and understanding. I don't know whether you're a clever liar or simply naive. And I wonder if I'd care one way or the other at this stage of the game. I have my own press agency, Herr Reichsminister. You should have let them handle it. Drink?
Herr Field Marshal Milch is here.
Last year, President Roosevelt asked the American aircraft industry for 50,000 airplanes. I'm quoting from the broadcast. Of course. They said it couldn't be done, but they did it. This year, he's asking them to produce 60,000 planes. They said, aye, aye, sir. Next year, he'll ask for 100,000 planes.
Will he get them, Herr Reich Minister?
He'll get them, Herr Field Marshal. We won't survive if we allow factories like this to be idle for 1 minute.
Gauleiter Salko has accepted the post of Commissioner General, and he agrees with me that these labor problems which you have so dramatically outlined to me, Herr Reich Minister, can be easily solved by utilizing labor forces from occupied countries. Gauleiter Salko has my complete authority to bring those workers into the Reich by the fastest possible means. Satisfactory?
Yes, my Führer. It is my only concern to staff our factories with the necessary manpower.
Well?
Where do these men come from? From the east, the occupied countries, mostly Czechs and Poles.
Right! Come on, you men! Move along!
Yes, my dear.
Will I be married?
Married? Why, yes, I would think so. One day.
What day?
What day?
When will I be married?
When you find you love another person very, very much. And life seems improbable without that person.
Will I live to be married?
Yes, I would hope so.
Will the bombs kill me?
Spearhead. Yes. Yes.
Must you go now? This is important to them.
This is important to me.
A project like the V2 program requires absolute secrecy.
I agree with the Reich Marshal. The simplest way to ensure complete secrecy for the V2 project is to use my people in the workforce. These prisoners in my concentration camps are completely cut off from all outside contact. They don't even receive any mail.
Well, I'm concerned with the technical aspects. If we can be sure...
Yes, what about technicians?
That would be no problem.
I don't really care where they come from. I want manpower.
Then I suggest you staff the entire project with these people. But no Jews.
Our soldiers?
Are wounded from the Russian front.
I spoke with General Paulus early this morning.
I think you should all know that Prime Minister Churchill and the President of the United States are wintering in Casablanca at this very moment. President Roosevelt has just announced that he and his friend will accept nothing less from me than an unconditional surrender. Right, Minister. My Fuhrer. For months, you've been urging me to declare a total war with all of industry and all of our economy. Under these circumstances, Herr Reich Minister Speer, I promise you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and especially Mr. Roosevelt and Mr. Churchill, they can expect nothing less from me than total war from here on out.
I wish President Roosevelt had consulted with me before he made his statement at Casablanca today.
I doubt if Mr. Roosevelt is in the mood these days to consult with anyone on the German General Staff.
Nevertheless, I would have pointed out to him how useful 2 words like unconditional surrender can be to a man like Dr. Goebbels. The doctor will certainly point out to our countrymen that the consequences of defeat are a great deal less palatable than the realities of war. May I be frank?
Please.
We've been at war 42 months now, and we are losing on all fronts. You know it, I know it, and even he knows it. And Dr. Goebbels will ask more people to die, and he'll ask you to manufacture more weapons, more machine guns, more tanks, more guns, and gather more manpower. I'm suggesting that we have all been taken in by that gutter snipe of an amateur general who has never even asked for a count of the dead.
Field Marshal Milch, you realize who you're talking to.
Herr Reich Minister Speer, do you realize who you are working for?
Spear. Yes.
What is the clothing ration?
There's no clothing ration, Herr Reich Minister.
Where do they sleep?
Right in here, Herr Reich Minister.
Close to their work.
They take their meals here as well?
Yes, Herr Reich Minister.
How often do they eat?
1 meal a day.
What do they eat?
These people receive, by way of the SS manager, proper food rations somewhat corresponding to those in the Reich, as approved by the Reich Minister of Foods. That is policy.
Policy. Show me the proper ration for today.
Of course, Herr Reich Minister.
Sanitary facilities?
Yes, Herr Reich Minister.
Who are you?
Who is this man? Where's he from?
Откуда? Ja, из Латвии. Welche Viotiete PCS? He is Russian, Herr Reich Minister.
A few Czechs and Poles, but mostly Russians.
He's a sick Russian. What's the name of your camp physician? You do have a doctor here.
No, Herr Reich Minister.
This facility, like the others, is serviced by a medical crew.
Frequently?
Twice a month.
What's the name of the doctor in that medical crew?
I would like to say...
Kamler?
There's no doctor in the medical crew, Herr Reich Minister.
Policy?
Policy.
Ешьте, господин райхминистр, пожалуйста.
Zatknись, сволочь!
Yes? What do you say?
He suggested that you eat it, Herr Reichsminister.
I suggest also you wear these rags. You feel the cold. You die with fever. I'm human being. I'm not animal. You and you, these people, bring me here from my wife, my child. You finish my life in this place, sick with garbage like that. What man? What man are you, Herr Reich Minister? What world you prepare for your master race?
Saukel.
Composer, get the car. Herr Saukel,
Yes, Herr Reichsminister?
you set the policy?
I set the policy.
Reset it. I want this mine in operation by the end of this week. I want more workers. I want them right away. Feed them, clothe them, and make sure you meet my production schedule. Quite clear?
It is my obligation to translate the Führer's will, intentions, and orders into action. I will provide you all the workers you need. I will not provide them luxuries.
I have just given you a direct order. I expect you to carry it out.
Herr Reichsminister, I remind you, I'm under the command of Reich Marshal Göring.
Herr Commissioner, I will not hesitate to ask the Reichsmarshal to have you shot.
You're a very dangerous man, Spear. You're arrogant, you're opinionated, you have too much power, you're too ambitious, threaten everyone, and you're an enemy of the party. Bormann. Bormann, ah yes. Beautiful conversationist, especially when it comes to you when he's had a few drinks with his friends.
Which friends?
The Reich Marshal was quite certain you wished to succeed Hitler as head of state. Saukel was quite certain that you would have the Reich Marshal have him shot. You know what I've just done, Spear? I've warned you. I don't know how much you put it'll do, but I've warned you. I never did have much chance to warn Dr. Todd.
I have to immobilize this leg, and I have to immobilize you. I know you're a very busy man, and I know you don't have the time, but I most seriously assure you, you must take the time and cure yourself before this condition becomes unmanageable.
My dear son, your mother and I have followed the reports of your illness in the newspapers. They say you are recovering rapidly. I hope that information is reliable. Very little I see in print is reliable these days. However, what I see in the skies is another matter. The British drop their bombs by night, the Americans by day, almost unresisted by the great Air Reich Marshal of the great girth. Soon, I'm sure, every major city in Germany will be in rubble. Dr. Goebbels does not admit these truths in any of his papers, nor does he admit that all of the genius of Germany is being destroyed into a den full of murderers and hangmen. I will never understand how the people of this nation told themselves that he ever had any program beyond his hope for destruction of the world. Love from your father.
Take him. Well.
We might as well be led by a blind traffic policeman. You have no idea of the havoc he's creating. and the German blood he's pumping into the ground.
Why hasn't he been shot?
What did you say?
Why hasn't somebody shot him?
I've heard of vague plans to do just that, but they all stopped right at the oath of allegiance we all took. As far as I'm concerned, no one's approached me, but I'm too old to get involved in plots and takeovers. But no reasonable man seeing the Fuhrer every day would still take that oath seriously. You're testing me.
Yes, I'm testing you.
And I'm testing you. Everyone's testing everyone these days. There's a man in your office, Dorsch, who used to work for Todt.
Head of his central office?
Yes, he's the party liaison man. He reports directly to the Fuhrer.
I know.
It's his job to make up dossiers on everyone in your organization, including you. Be careful of when you go back to work.
I'm not going back. I found my wife and children again. We've been together for the first time in years. I'm not going back. I'm resigning.
No, you aren't. You can't. It's too late for luxurious thinking like that. You can't resign and leave this country to his whims and mercies. One minute he's talking about a new weapon we all know won't happen, and the next minute he's talking about leaving them a scorched earth we all know could happen. Now we must stop him, so there's something left to carry us through the period after the war.
Dr. Dietrich at headquarters.
Yes, I've got it. One moment, Jeff. Yes, Dr. Goebbels speaking. Well, put him on. Assassination? Is he all right?
I am unhurt, and I am well. That is first. Second, I want you to know that a very small clique of irresponsible, ambitious, senseless, stupid officers concocted a plot to eliminate me. Several of my true and loyal comrades were seriously wounded, and one has died. I received only minor scratches, bruises, and burns. From every 10 conspirators, the Gestapo will extract the names of 100 more until German ground is hot and soft with running German blood. I will root out these traitors and destroy them, and their women, and their children. I, your Führer, will live on to change the world, while these betrayers will be killed like cattle, unworthy of my greatness.
Kaltenbrunner.
Forgive me, my leg's been bothering me again.
Vexum. I have no wish to add to your discomfort, but we have discovered that you were on Count von Stauffenberg's calendar for lunch, July the 20th, the day of the attempted assassination.
I was on my own calendar that day to speak at the business luncheon. Did you discover that too?
Of course. But it is not inconceivable that Stauffenberg or someone else approached you.
No, it isn't.
This is the organizational plan for the post-conspiracy government. As you see, a great general staff was to coordinate the 3 branches of the armed services. Do you follow me?
I'm following you.
Subordinate to this staff was the Commander-in-Chief of the Home Army, who was also to be Supreme Armaments Chief. Do you still follow me? Turn the page now. I believe if you go all the way down to the personnel they anticipated, see the boxes?
Yes.
You will find your own name neatly printed there in block letters. Minister of Armaments in the new government, had they succeeded.
Yes. There's a question mark right after it.
You noticed that?
I noticed that right away. Herr Kaltenbrunner, I am a busy man. I've been working on a feeble
an insecure speech about loyalty to my staff.
Tomorrow, 12 o'clock sharp, I invite you to attend, if you please.
Right now, you simply must excuse me. The enemy has struck us at one of our weakest points, fuel supply. If they persist, we will no longer have any production that is worth mentioning. Our one hope is...
Our one hope is?
Our one hope is that the enemy has an Air Force General Staff as stupid as our own.
You want me to send this to the Fuhrer?
Just that way.
You have your own plane now?
Yes, I have a plane and a pilot standing by at all times.
And a train?
Train, private plane, private phone, private this, private that, private car.
Why, and plenty of fuel to take you anywhere you want to go. It's only right for a Reich minister.
I suppose so.
I know so. I've always given you good advice.
Always.
My friend. One last bit of advice, Herr Reich Minister. If anyone asks you to take your private plane or your private train and inspect a concentration camp in Upper Silesia, don't. Don't go to Auschwitz under any circumstances.
Transmitted to all commanders in all areas, but I want to emphasize all areas and Gau districts. No German is to inhabit land occupied by the enemy. Anyone who does so, any wretch will find himself in a desert, devoid of all the amenities of civilization. I repeat, I re-emphasize. I want everything essential to the maintenance of life and
Irmgard.
Irmgard, yes. Destroyed. All industrial plants, all gas and water and power, electrical works, telephone exchanges. I want them blown up, destroyed completely. No more ringing. Dismantle them. Cut the telegraph wires, the relay offices, blow them up, and the spare parts. Destroy all spare parts. How old is she?
16.
Sweet 16. I want all the cows, all the chickens, all the food supplies destroyed. I want all the farms burned down, all the livestock. That's it! Kill the cows! That's what I want you to do. Kill all the cows. Let General Patton and his killers come through and smell their rotting carcasses. And pigs. Kill all the pigs. And flood the mines, all of them. I want them unusable for the next 1,000 years. Tear down the castles, blow them up, the churches, the monuments, the opera houses, the theaters. Level them, flatten them to the ground. Want one stalk of German wheat to feed the enemy. Burn all the fields, all the wheats. Not one German mouth to give him information. Not one German hand to help him.
When the enemy gets here, I want every road to be blocked, every bridge destroyed. I want nothing but death, annihilation, and hatred to meet him.
Commands of the Fuhrer cannot be ignored or postponed. The Gestapo will instantly arrest the irresponsible official for acting contrary to an order from the Fuhrer and be taken to a concentration camp. So, we shall have his scorched earth, no matter what.
I've been thinking about killing him.
Have you?
Yes. I'm still thinking about it.
Are you? I think we touched on that subject once before. How would you do it?
Poison gas. Taboon. In the air intake valve of the bunker.
Very good.
Very bad. Yesterday they put a 10-foot chimney on top of the air intake valve. And there's a guard.
And of course you are terribly, terribly redeemed. You know what you are, Spear? Hitler's unrequited love. And you simply wouldn't know what to do in a world that didn't include Adolf Hitler. You know, I think it's a splendid time to start looking for some civilian clothes.
There's little sense in devastating and destroying buildings and territories the Fuhrer has every intention of reconquering.
We all know, Herr Reichsminister, that's not going to happen. Just what is this all about?
It's unreasonable to destroy all facilities it would take to survive in a post-war world.
Supposed to do about all those orders I get every day about demolition?
Interpret them in a merciful sense, Field Marshal.
Merciful?
As his Reich's minister, I'm ordering you to withhold any response to those orders until you receive confirmation from my office. Will you withhold until you hear from me?
How many children do you have?
6.
I've got 3 of my own. All Gauleiters and field commanders. All right, Spear. For the kids.
Hold it right there. Mabel. It says here he's the Reich Minister, Herr General.
He is. Well, Spear, you're a long way from Berlin. I have the damnedest bunch of orders from there. Keitel wants me to blow up all the bridges and evacuate all the people in my district. I can't do that. I hope you're not here to tell me I should.
I'm here to tell you that if the Fuhrer calls you to account, you can say that I told you the order had been cancelled.
Come on, sir. Back up.
We all know the Fuhrer's still holding something in reserve that he'll use at the last minute, and then the turning point will come. It's only a trap, isn't it? He's letting the enemy come this far into our country. We still have a special weapon, don't we? A weapon that'll change everything.
Albert.
You must rest, Albert. You look very tired.
I'm afraid I have no time.
Are the Americans coming?
Yes, they're in Mannheim now. Heidelberg has been declared an open city. It will be surrendered without a fight.
Yes, come in. Must you go?
I've been ordered back to Berlin.
By him?
Yes.
Are you still the lickspittle of that Austrian canaille?
Hardly, Father. He's taken away all my authority.
Stay here. Let the Americans arrest you. He's having people shot for nothing at all these days.
I have to go back.
The Fuhrer's been waiting.
You drove round the countryside and told the Ruhr Gauleiters not to carry out my demolition orders, that the war is lost.
Yes.
You admit it?
Yes.
You know the consequences for actions like that?
Yes, I do.
If you weren't my architect, I would have you shot.
I remind you, I'm not your architect. I'm your Reich's minister. You can do whatever you think is necessary.
Come in here. You're going on sick leave. You're overworked. You're ill. You never did fully recover. I'll have somebody else run your office.
No.
No? You are saying no to me?
I'm not going on sick leave. If you don't want me as your minister, you can dismiss me the same way you appointed me.
I am your Führer. I insist you go on sick leave immediately.
As long as I'm in office, I'll conduct the affairs of the ministry. And I'm not sick. I'm in sound condition.
Get out! If you can convince yourself that the war isn't lost, you can continue to run your office.
I will not tell you something I don't believe.
You could hope that we haven't lost. Certainly you're still able to hope.
You have 24 hours to answer me.
hold on, Frau Reichsminister. He's picking up his phone now.
Now, listen to me carefully. I've ordered a car for you. It'll be there tomorrow morning at 7. Have the children ready. Take what you can and leave. I've arranged for you to go to Kappel. It's out of the way, near no large city. You'll be safe there.
And you?
I'll be all right.
You're in danger, aren't you? I can tell.
Marguerite, I know what I'm doing. I haven't known for a very long time. But I know now. I have to hurry. Don't forget, I love you very, very much.
Albert? Albert?
Henry, where are your parents?
Dusseldorf. My mother lives there. I have a married sister there, too.
Are they well?
Yes, they're well.
I'd feel less strained if you were to make plans to join them there as quickly as possible. I've seen that concern on your face for me many times. And before you ask what is to become of me, let me tell you, I was in Heidelberg a few days ago, where I grew up. And just as it was when I was a very young boy, the soil was spicy and fragrant. Springtime, Anne-Marie. It's a time for living and growing.
Well?
My Führer, I stand unreservedly behind you.
Then all's well.
If I stand unreservedly behind you, you must again entrust me with the authority to implement your orders.
Of course.
Would you be good enough to sign this document?
Safeguard power plants, gasworks, food processing plants. I wondered what you talked me into last time. And now I'm wondering what I'm going to let you talk me into this time.
I'm here to assure you that by abiding by that order, you're not disregarding the order of your commander-in-chief.
You know, I think you're talking about high treason.
You have a piece of paper with his signature on it. I won't ask you how you got it. You know, I always thought you'd go down in that hole with him and stay until the last round of ammunition has been fired. I'm not so sure that still won't happen. At any rate, thank you for ordering me not to carry out any demolitions.
She's been ill. Very ill. Small heart attacks. I've tried to keep her quiet, free from strain. Never. But it's not easy with the children underfoot. We shall stay with the Führer till the end, of course. All of us. She's frightened about that. Terribly frightened. Magda? Someone wants to say goodbye.
Albert.
May I present my family? This is Helga and Hilde and...
No, they're playing. They're all right.
I'm so glad. I'm so very glad that Harold is safe.
Harold is her son by her first husband.
Should I stay here or fly to Berchtesgaden? Jodels told me that tomorrow was the last chance for that.
I believe it would be better, if it must be, that you end your life here in the capital, as the Fuhrer.
I feel the same way. I just wanted to hear your view once more. I shall not fight, personally. There's always the chance that I'd only be wounded and fall into the hands of the Russians alive. And I don't want my enemies to disgrace my body either. I've given orders that I'm to be cremated. Fraulein Brown wants to depart this life with me. And I'll shoot Blondie beforehand. Believe me, Spear, it is easy for me to end my life. A brief moment, and I'm free of everything. Liberated from this painful existence.
The ammunition clip is sent into the chamber this way. Once it is in, pull the slide back, release the safety. And take your positions. Remember, sight slowly, carefully. That's right. Now ready, aim, fire!
I have a courier plane at my disposal. There's still time.
No. No, I'll stay here, right here, with him. We have to stick together in case there are some lusty, old-fashioned peasants in the Red Army.
Commence firing.
There is something I must say to you. I countermanded your orders. I deceived you. I didn't carry out any demolitions. I prevented them.
We'll talk about this another time.
Herr von Ribbentrop is here to see you. Yes.
The Fuhrer died this afternoon at 1500.
Albert Speer est condamné à 20 ans de réclusion.
Albert Speer zu 20 Jahren Zuchthaus verurteilt.
Albert Speer to 20 years imprisonment.
Albert Speer zu 20 Jahren Zuchthaus verurteilt.
Albert Speer получил 20 лет заключения.
Albert Speer zu 20 Jahren Zuchthaus verurteilt.
Albert Speer to 20 years imprisonment.
Albert Speer zu 20 Jahren Zuchthaus verurteilt.
This is a list of titles compiled in cooperation with the American Library Association, giving additional information about Albert Speer and Nazi Germany. Adolf Hitler by John Toland. Berlin Diary by William L. Shirer. Hitler by Joachim C. Fest. The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich by William L. Shirer. Check your library or bookstore for these and other titles on this subject.